Big Daddy Mac. Dan's 30 years got our way, trading life and markets every day. Rusty's chained to the mines, digging deep day by day. But when Option Omega releases new features, he's free to come out and play. Option Omega, you're trading home, where every move makes you feel less alone.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning, Troy. Troy just got out of. He was in the forest during the night.
That's right. Just went for a nighttime stroll, and
Yeah.
you know, I'm I'm just living it. You know, I'm living that cold weather. I saw my breath for the first time this season this morning.
You feel like an offensive lineman getting ready outside in
That's right.
a short sleeve shirt, getting ready for a football game.
That's right. Now, Dan, what is Chicago weather? You're going up there next week. What's it going to look like, you know, compared to here?
You know, the last I looked, Troy, it looks like it's pretty close to Knoxville for next week. You know, actually, honestly, it looks maybe a little bit better over the last. I mean, close. They're usually 15 or more degrees colder than we are, but it looks like you know, low 60s to high 70s. So they've got a good, you know, they'll have a good period out there, as good as Knoxville. But Knoxville's real nice now. The only thing I didn't understand is, like, when you get in Knoxville, I just looked, it's beautiful by all standards. You're walking, but humidity's 90. Why would you have high? I was just asking my wife, why would you have 90-degree humidity? But she said it's like dew. I don't know. That through. I'm not a weather guy.
I know we're humidity. We have some humidity. I have an old piano on my porch, and this is how I gauge humidity: is if I can go play it, and the keys don't stick, then we are having low humidity. If
I love
sticks,
it.
We have high humidity.
So what is it today? Did you test it today?
Well, I mean, Dan, this is a good
give
opportunity.
it,
It's a good opportunity just to see what we got real quick.
I love it.
All right, I'm gonna now do the humidity test here. See if we can. Low humidity today. Not that bad. Not that bad.
You've seen worse.
Yeah, I mean, certainly. So
I didn't realize you got a lot of room on that porch. Can you put like 10 people? You got a lot of room there.
Yeah, we have a long porch, and it's an old house. This house is, I think, 1800 something, and you know, my wife and I, we bought an old house, and we said to ourselves 5 years after living in an old house, if my wife says, if we ever buy another house and I say, oh, I just want something with charm, just punch me in the face. She said, I want something new where everything works.
Yeah. There is that romanticism with the old house. It's got character. It's got that. And then you think, well, how much do I got to throw into this thing? How much?
Oh, yeah.
How much work does it need? Or, yeah.
And Dan, listen, when I people think I'm being facetious. When I say this, I don't know how to do anything.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how to do anything.
I'm with you. I hear you. You know, it's great. You look at these. I used to always look at these. They had a show, Bob Vila. Do you remember that name? You know,
This Old House.
Yeah, This Old House. And he goes there, and, you know, it gave hope to everybody that, hey, any yo-ho could go in there and, you know, change this, do this. I'm like, no, you know, and they would do it in a half hour of the show.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. No, that show to me.
I think that show's still going.
Well, I mean, there's always rubes who are buying old houses who have to figure out what to do, you know.
Rubes, I like that.
You know, yeah. So,
Rude.
I noticed last night. So I had option Omega is blowing up all across the world, and I had a call last night with a guy, a nice gentleman who was in Sydney. Dan, have you ever had to do any calls with people in Australia?
Yes, they have. Aussies are a hardy bunch. They have a lot of energy. They're unique. I mean, I love the Australians. They're hardy. They're let's just roll up the sleeves. Let's go.
I didn't even know you could be that far away from me. They're 14 hours ahead of me.
Oh yeah,
that's possible.
Yeah, we have an Aussie in a wonderful Aussie in our community, Anthony, and we'll in the teaching session in the morning, he'll be on. He sounds better than everybody, and I'm like, what time is it? Oh, it's 2 a.m. It's like, yeah, this is I think their late night. So you talked to somebody yesterday.
I had 11:30 call.
Oh my goodness.
He was very kind. He didn't realize that I was up that late. But while I was doing that, Dan, I noticed that there were some rumors going around that Russia was invading Poland.
You're serious?
Yeah. Rumors. I'm serious about the rumors. Yeah. Have you heard any of this?
No, that's an interesting one. Russia invading Poland.
So I go to the old news sources this morning, and let me just do this real quick. And I go, well, I wonder what's happening, in world events. And I look at the world events. Poland shoots down Russian drones. First time NATO's fired on Russia. Europe on the brink of war. A major escalation. And then I say to myself, well, so we're probably down 300-400 points in the S&P.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
Apparently this is bullish. I didn't know that, Dan.
So that's the Drudge. Now the Drudge Report's been around a long time.
Yeah, they've been around a long time. I mean, I don't know if you'd say they're reputable, but they're not reputable. Like anything else.
But I guess Oracle's earnings are more important than what happened with the.
Well, that's the funny thing. The top headline is we're all just kind of in shock.
So
about NATO.
About NATO, right? Yeah, you haven't seen anything.
Not about NATO. They're just in shock about the projections of their revenue.
Yeah, it's crazy. That would be obviously big news with Poland, and you don't see anything. Either the Drudge Report hit a lemon, right? Or
I was seeing it pre-Drudge Report.
Oh, you were?
Okay. Yeah, I've seen it on Twitter. And I mean, chat, you can chime in if there's anybody on the Polish-Ukrainian border who was with us this morning.
Let us know.
Please report. But Dan, I thought that was interesting that, this really is a market that just doesn't. Some good news is good news, bad news is good news, terrible news is good news.
Yeah, I'll have to check with we have we'll have to check on. I have a brother-in-law's brother is a missionary in Poland.
Okay.
Get hold of him and say, hey, what's going on over there?
What's going on down there? Yeah.
But it is, lady, which would be significant news. But going to the market news, it's just I was looking at Oracle yesterday for maybe a small spec trade. We were looking at it, and the expected move was 21 points was the expected move yesterday, and it closed at 241. They're looking at 317, which would be like almost 80 points, almost four times the expected move. So it's like,
wow,
that seems just absolutely bonkers. So they're saying, well, that could be, this could get the AI thing going, like it's not been going already, right?
Yeah.
There's been nothing going. So that's why at least it appears ES was up 32 points. VIX looks like it could open in the higher 14s, but the Oracle thing, that's the thing. And then the PPI was a little better than they said. The prices actually declined a little bit. They were expecting, I think that was the non-core versus the core, but even the core, I think, possibly came down a little. So there's a bit of good news. And then you have the CPI tomorrow, and then next Wednesday, the FOMC, which seems like there's about 100% chance they're going to lower. So it just seems like, the old if we could play a song with the market going up and one going down, it's like happy days are here again, and here we go again. It's like the Bears are going to have to the Chicago Bears, as well as the Bears in the market, will have to wait another day before we get a chance. It's like
we're just out here tailgating.
Oh yeah, it's like all this volatility. People's like when the VIX goes into 14, it's like forget about it. Let's go.
I'll tell you how short I want to get on AI. I don't even want to buy puts. What I want to do is, I'm so short on AI. I want to go back in time to when like stockbrokers had secretaries, and you had to go get like the paper.
Oh my
and
God.
I want to tell my secretary, go find me every put you can find in this town.
Yeah.
The short AI. That's what I want to do.
Troy's gonna corner the put market in AI.
I'm gonna own every certificate of puts you could have. I want the literal contracts.
Yeah, it just seems like, I mean, come on. I mean, it's almost like, the bubble could be like, but
what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna? You just gotta.
What are you gonna do? That's the thing. So, listen. Let me know if you guys hear any more.
Absolutely, you got me looking
Polish, at Polish, Ukrainian World War III situation. Can't engage it by the market apparently. So, Anyway, what we're gonna look at today, Dan. So yes, we started the week by looking at calendarized iron flies.
Yeah.
Well, so far, it has not worked, and I said that earlier this week that I couldn't find one that worked. But what Louis Schiff did yesterday was really interesting because he came upon an accident, and sometimes in backtesting you do this.
Yeah.
So Louis Schiff yesterday came up with a calendarized iron fly, but the way he was setting it up on Fridays, it was actually just a. You were buying selling Monday's premium, and you're getting out Friday afternoon.
Right.
So I wanted to segment that out and look at it a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And maybe take a little fork in the road and see what we're gonna do. So let me share my screen here. This is Louis Schiff's uncalendarized Friday fly. Okay, so Dan, what this is, all we did was basically we took out the rest of the days and we're putting it on Friday. We're still getting out the same day.
Yeah.
So you are getting out Friday either for profit or you're getting out at 3 p.m. And
this is just a Friday trade.
This is just a Friday trade. And in fact, I left it here because it's still kind of confusing. And I thought that was kind of fun to leave it confusing to show people how this works.
Yeah.
It's a 1-2, but because actually, let me do this real quick. Let me show you what this would look like if you were actually trying to do a 1-2 on Fridays. So I'm going to click this use exact DTE button. And I'm going to run this again. And we're going to watch. Well, there's no trades.
Yeah.
Why are there no trades?
Yeah.
Because there's no 1-2, right?
Yeah.
On a Friday, there's no 1-2.
Right.
And so this is just putting on Friday. So really what you're doing, I'll tell you exactly what this trade is. It's a 3-day iron fly put on Fridays.
Yeah.
It's going to be the exact same. There we go. Why? Because that's the trade. That's the trade.
It's a totally different trade than the original Louis Schiff, right?
That's right. It's Louis Schiff's uncalendarized Friday fly.
Yeah, right.
And so I'll share this. But what I thought this was interesting is I went back and I started testing because I had a fly that I was trading earlier this year, and it just kind of, it didn't perform as well. So I took it off a couple months ago, and I went back and looked, and it's actually not done great this year. So that was the right call. But what I thought was interesting, Dan, I'd be interested to see. I think Friday flies have seemed to work this year. And if you go back to 2022, they seem to work pretty well on Fridays. And so, Dan, you taught me iron flies, and I thought it'd be an interesting day just to kind of look at what is an iron fly and what are you trying to do? And forget 0 day, forget short-term stuff, because that changes a lot.
Yeah.
But, 5, 6, 8 years ago, when you were teaching iron flies, what are we looking for with an iron fly, Dan?
Well, iron flies are like to me, the purest form of the adrenaline rush, selling premium, selling extrinsic value. You're going in there unequivocally and saying, I want to sell the most extrinsic value and I want it now. And you're selling, you're selling the at the money call and an at the money put. I mean, it's in the family. It's in the same family as the iron condor. When you set it up on some of the brokers, you'll set it up like an iron condor because you're doing a call credit spread and a put credit spread, right? But the difference is you're going at the money. You're saying, I want the most extrinsic value, that part of an option that decays the most, and I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell the call, I'm going to sell the put, and then I'm going to buy some protection somewhere over the rainbow.
Over the rainbow.
Yeah, I'm going to buy some protection somewhere because I want to be a responsible citizen and risk manager. But you're getting versus an iron condor, which is a call credit spread out of the money, put credit spread out of the money. This is just and also the difference between an iron butterfly and an iron condor, it's a bit of a wider spread, right? Your longs are just like, hey, I'm here in case the battle gets too rough, right? But we're selling the at the money extrinsic. We want some decay. We'll benefit from decay more than an iron condor because it's a wider spread. Generally with iron condors, you're not, you might go 10 wide, 20 wide, 30 wide, but the iron butterfly is kind of your pure boom, selling that. So it's something you would do. When would you do an iron butterfly? Well, I think you can do them all the time. Options decay all the time, right? But you can do them, obviously it would be considered a range-bound trade. So you'd like some two-way, something that at least looks like it could be range-bound. You could benefit if implied volatility goes down, right? Just like an iron condor can, because you sold the most extrinsic value. So, you generally would like a little bit higher volatility if you could get it. But more important, you just need some quiet, right? A little bit of quiet. And with zero, bringing the discussion just for a second to 0 day, if you do an iron butterfly, I'll give you an example, not even an iron butterfly, but yesterday I did and I just bring this up because it was unusual. And again, if there was a song with unusual, Troy, what would be the first song would come to your mind? It's got to be one guy, hopefully. Unusual. It's not unusual.
Yeah, to be. Here's the problem. I get him and is Wayne Newton, right?
It's a contemporary, but it's the famous Tom Jones.
Tom Jones. Okay. See, yeah. I always get these guys confused. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, yesterday was an example where it seemed very slow, didn't move a lot. And at 10:02, right, on the automation system, I put on a 30 delta, which is close. In a 0 day, 30 deltas is getting close to at the money. So it wasn't at the money, but it was a 30 delta, which is a little bit above, maybe 10 points above and below. So the 30 delta call and a 30 delta put, and then bought the wings 30 points away. And you could make, in yesterday, within 5 minutes, 5 or 6 minutes, you made almost, 7-10% or something like that, just because. But that's the whole principle of an iron butterfly. When it's, especially with a 0 day, it could be like crack cocaine, because you're selling that at the money, and things can just, it's a steady growth down. So those are a nice trade. They look better graphically when the volatility is higher because you have more room. If you look at an iron butterfly, with the VIX in the 14s, which can open today, it doesn't look so great. If you look at a 30 delta iron Condor on a 0 day like yesterday, it's like, if this thing even walks in its house, the iron butterfly, and goes to the washroom, you get nailed. You can lose in a 10 or 12 points. So it's the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? So generally you'd want with iron butterflies to sell when the vol's higher from a volatility perspective. But on a day like yesterday, relatively low vol, you're doing great most days, but you don't have a lot of room. So sorry to
No, that's great. And Dan, to someone who's new to options, and they're playing around in their brokerage and they're looking at this and graphing it out, why do an iron fly over a butterfly?
Well, they're kind of the same. An iron fly, I'll tell you why I like it for beginners, but iron butterfly, if you think about it, it's the same as a call or put butterfly. If let's just stay in the world of balanced butterflies. Let's leave out broken wings. So balanced butterflies is, if I do a 20 wide iron butterfly at the opening today in SPX, I'm going to sell the at the money call, the at the money put. I'm going to buy my out of the money put 20 points away. I'm going to buy my out of the money call 20 points away. Now, why you would say, if you said to me, what would feel more warm and fuzzy for a beginner, an iron butterfly or an iron Condor? Now, an iron butterfly would be 4 legs. A call butterfly or put butterfly balanced would be 3 legs. It's the same graph, right? So it's one extra leg. But the nice thing about, from a small trader, right, or someone who just doesn't want to put a lot of capital, if you do an iron butterfly where you sell the at the money call, at the money put, you're giving up probabilities, right? So it's not going to be like an iron Condor where you sell a 20 delta or 10 delta call and put. You bring in a buck, and you can have risk of $9 or something like this. Here, it feels warm and fuzzy because you're giving up the probabilities and you're saying, I can make 4 to lose 4, or so it's a good risk reward. You don't have to be as responsible of a risk manager because there's no decision. In a lot of ways, there's no adjusting, right?
Right.
Because
right.
Why, you can make that. So it's more forgiving. Whereas if you're in an iron Condor and you have a 10 delta or 15 delta and the market goes crazy on especially a 0 day, like Tammy would do a lot of those small, you have to be responsible. You have to have a plan. Hey, I'm going to get out of the bad side or the bad short option at a certain point, or you could ruin your whole week. You could lose, losing on one 0 day iron Condor could knock out a bunch of trades. Whereas if you lose on an iron butterfly, it's not as big a deal. So it's a different feel. It's a different feel. They're both good trades, but like anything else, it's how you trade them, how you manage them. It's a little bit different, right? But you'll make your money quicker from a theta point of view, generally with the iron butterfly.
I think that's spot on. And I think I watched a blog. I read a blog about 10 years ago from Dan Sheridan on his blog 10 years ago. And it was about an iron fly. And I was brand new to options. And I read it probably 30 times because it was such an interesting way of looking at things.
Because there were so many writing, there were so many words and things in there.
No. It was great.
Right.
No, it was great because it was like, you said basically like you are going to lose in this trade. Get used to it. This is how you win in this trade, is by learning to lose in this trade. And I think that's spot on with just what you said with these type of premium selling strategies. You have to be a mathematician about it. You have to be unemotional. You have to let the probabilities play out if you're going to do that. And so, that's just good advice with any of this, because we can test iron flies all day, but as soon as you put it on, you have to have the mechanics in place to be mechanical.
Yeah.
And that's the way I look at it.
That's a good. Hey, Troy, could you show that point again on the strategy for like people who are newer, including myself, needs to see that again. What you put the setting at so you don't get no trades. What?
Sure. So let me do this real quick. One thing, shout out Steven, I put max 60 RSI.
Oh.
That improves the trade a little bit, so I'm going to save that for you guys. But basically, right now, I have it 3-day. I changed it to 3-day, put on Friday.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
If you wanted to only make sure, but if you had that, let's say you had the 1-2 still, and you wanted to make sure you're only putting this on days where there's a 1-2, you would use that as that DTE. And again, I'll run it. We're not going to have any because I'm running this just on Fridays.
Yeah.
And so the back tester isn't going to know what to do about that, and so it's just not going to run it because there are no 1-2s.
Oh. Now, what if you did it without? If you undid the use exact DTE and put it back to ones, would that do? What would that do?
That's exactly what. So it'll be the equivalent of a 3-day because it's going to find the closest expiration.
It'll search out. Okay.
Yeah. And so it won't know what to do with the 2-day, so it'll just put it on the same day.
Oh, so that's what. Okay, so the 2-day it won't. I gotcha.
Yeah, so that's how it's working, and we give you the freedom to be able to do that because there's some strategies where you don't care.
Yeah.
Like I have some longer dated DCs.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's exactly 25 days or 23 days.
Yeah.
That's fine with me.
Right. I agree.
And so, but shorter term stuff, especially, you want to do it. So for the ease of everybody, I put it just 3 days and just kept that on. And now if I said you can actually do this, use this DTE, and it'll run because there are 3-day contracts. So real quick, Rob of Rob and Maria fame, dear friends of the show, Maria bought a boatload of Oracle based on AI 2 days ago. She just followed the rules she explained on your show the other day. I told her Oracle was boring. Boy, was I wrong. She's now running show tests in AI to get her opinion. So be careful. AI and Maria are watching you. Well, that's everything. I want to make sure that like I was saying, AI is great. I don't want to short it. It's awesome. If it's listening right now,
yes,
please don't kill me.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think that's an interesting test. But where do we go from here? Well, I would challenge you guys. I have a feeling there's probably some really good Friday flies.
That's right. Okay, that's where I was going to get. So you're looking. So really, would you say because of Louis Schiff's test, we found a nugget because of the Friday deal? It basically, hey, we discovered you're really putting on a Friday iron butterfly every Friday over the weekend, and we found some interesting results. Is that really? I think
that's exactly right. I feel like this is an episode of Matlock. We've been trying to defend our client. He looks guilty as all get out, but like Matlock also always does, he finds a nugget somewhere.
Yeah,
and he can turn it around.
That's
and
right.
I think we're going to turn this thing around. So the gauntlet's been thrown. Friday flies. We got 2 days. I've got a couple I can show you on Friday, but I'm sure you might be able to beat mine.
Well, let me ask you, Troy, real quick. In the world of back testing, have you done many? I mean, has there been up until this Louis Schiff discovery. Has there been many Friday put on a, some type of, call it credit spread, credit, which could be an iron butterfly or iron condor, or debit, double calendar, put it on Friday and it would expire on Monday. Have you seen many of those?
We had a couple. I remember early 2022, we had some DCs that we would do a Friday to Monday. The one thing that we noticed through time, and this might have shifted, I haven't looked at it, was that Monday shorts didn't hold their juice that well going into Fridays sometimes. So you'd put it on, but you've almost lost too much juice in the shorts, to where you're going into the weekend with a long straddle or a long strangle, and then you're just decaying and not being able to hold some of that until Monday.
Yeah. So they worked in 22 a little bit, you're saying, because
vol was sticky.
Vols were a little bit higher. Okay.
Yeah. So, but you could test it. I mean, there might be some killer ones.
Yeah. All right. So, good.
All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm going to go take some Dayquil, as is my custom, and go from there. But we'll be back tomorrow. Matt will be back with us, and we'll keep on the fly train.